the nearby stones began to melt in ecstatic love. So the friends became like stones, and the stones became melted. When Narada Muni was chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, he chanted so loudly that people thought that Lord Nrsimha had appeared. Thus, all the demons began to flee in different directions. Stretching the body. It is said that sometimes when Narada, the carrier of the Veena, remembers his Lord Krishna in great ecstasy, he begins to stretch his body so vigorously that his sacred thread breaks. Pops his sacred thread. Crying loudly. A gopi once said to Krishna, "My dear son of Nanda Maharaj, by the sound of your flute, Srimati Radharani has become full of lamentation and fear, and thus, with a faltering voice, she is crying like a kurari bird." The bird kurari is found in India and has kind of a very, like a plaintive cry, like it's hard to do. But anyway, she was crying like that. It is described that by hearing the vibration of Krishna's flute, Lord Shiva becomes very puzzled and begins to cry so loudly into space that the demons become vanquished and the devotees become overwhelmed with joy. The vibration of Krishna's flute is so amazing. The music that he plays is so astonishing, so far out, that even Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma can't understand it. So they become agitated. Lord Shiva he starts crying in space. Wild, huh? Yawning. It is said that when the full moon rises, the lotus petals become fully expanded. Similarly, when Krishna used to appear before Radharani, her face, which is compared to the lotus flower, would expand by her yawning. Krishna has this special potency that he, just by his presence, then people will start to yawn. I've seen this. I've seen it in temples in India, for example, the classes on Bhagavad-gītā are usually given in the early morning. And the curtains of the altar are open. And Radha and Krishna are standing there like that. And so everyone is sitting on the temple floor, and the spiritual master is speaking, looking at the deities and speaking about Krishna. And the relationship, the energy between Krishna and the spiritual master is very strong. But when the devotees are there and they feel this, and they start yawning, they just can't stay awake. I mean, I've seen devotees even standing up to falling asleep, right in front of Srila Prabhupada and Krishna and everybody. It's like you can't help it. There's some like mysterious energy that just like. It's really funny. Breathing heavily. As far as breathing heavily is concerned, it is stated, Lalita, one of the gopis, is just like a chataki bird, which only takes water falling directly from the rain cloud and not from any other source. In this statement, Krishna is compared to the dark cloud, and Lalita is compared to the chataki bird, seeking only Krishna's company. The metaphor continues to say, as a heavy wind sometimes disperses a mighty cloud, so the heavy breath from Lalita's nostrils caused her to miss Krishna, who had disappeared by the time she recovered herself. Krishna is so tricky. Sometimes I wish we could go and read the original pastimes. Unfortunately, not all of these have citations. So we would have to look them up in Srimad Bhagavatam. Mostly these are from Srimad Bhagavatam. So it would be nice to hear the context. Neglecting the presence of others. As far as neglecting the presence of others is concerned, the wives of the Brahmanas who were performing sacrifices at Vrindavan left home as soon as they heard that Krishna was nearby. They left their homes without caring for their learned husbands. The husbands began to discuss this among themselves. How wonderful is the attraction for Krishna that it has made these women leave us without any care. This is the influence of Krishna. Anyone who becomes attracted to Krishna can be relieved from the bondage of birth and death, which can be compared to the locked-up homes that were neglected by the wives of the Brahmanas. In the Padyavali, there is a statement by some devotees, "We shall not care for any outsiders. If they should deride us, we still shall not care for them. We shall simply enjoy the transcendental mellow of chanting Hare Krishna, and thus we shall roll on the ground and dance ecstatically. In this way we shall eternally enjoy transcendental bliss." Yes, that's the devotee's mood. Huh? But we don't care for outsiders. Let them say whatever they like. They can't understand it. They don't know what this is all about. Huh? Because just even by reading the Vedas, you can't really understand what this is about. You have to go into it yourself. You have to taste it for yourself. Then you can understand. If you do this process, if you perform devotional service, then Krishna will reveal himself. And you can know this. All these things we're talking about. Huh? Then you'll get the same attitude. I don't care what people think. Let them call me bad names or let them do whatever they like. Huh? We're not going to stop our service to Krishna. Who can stop it anyway? Huh? Simply by thinking of Krishna, we become so satisfied, so ecstatic, that who can stop us from thinking of Krishna? It's not possible. Drooling. As an example of the running down of saliva from the mouth, it is stated that sometimes when Narada Muni was chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, he remained stunned for a while, and saliva oozed from his mouth. Yeah. Sometimes the ecstasy obtained from chanting the holy name of Krishna is so striking that one becomes stunned. It's just so wonderful and so amazing. Or even after chanting, sometimes thinking back on chanting, it has even a more wonderful taste than chanting itself. Who can explain all these things? Like I said, you simply have to try it. Then you can know what we're talking about. Otherwise, it's going to seem like, oh, these people are so far out. They must be imagining all these things. But no, if you chant this name of Krishna and you follow all the regulative principles and you become purified, then Krishna will manifest himself and you'll experience all these things. So please try it. Laughing like a madman. When a devotee laughs very loudly like a madman, it is done out of an extraordinary agitation of ecstatic love within the heart. Such mad laughing is an expression of the condition of the heart, which is technically called attahasa. Attahasa. When a devotee becomes affected with this mental condition, his love is expressed through the lips. The laughing sound, coming one after another, are compared to flowers falling from the creeper of devotion which grows within the heart of the devotee. Very nice. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, devotional service to the Lord is also compared to a creeper which rises up to the lotus feet of Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. This is a very nice simile or metaphor, that when the Guru plants the seed of love of Godhead within the heart of the disciple by giving the mantra of the holy name, and the disciple begins to water this seed by chanting this mantra according to the instructions of the Guru, then the seed sprouts and it turns into a creeper. And this creeper grows, not outward, but inward, toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So as the creeper is watered, it grows more and more. And then there are all different kinds of phenomena associated with this, including these flowers dropping, that when the devotee becomes so ecstatic, especially